So a good Erev Shabbos, good Erev Yantiv also. I trust that each of you have been experiencing a meaningful Pesach. It's even a little surprising that we say Yizkor on Yantiv, because Yizkor is not necessarily the happiest experience that we go through, although it certainly can be a mixed experience. And Yantiv is the height of happiness. We even have members within our shul who suffered the loss of a relative for which they have to sit shiva, but were not able to start during Yantiv, because in particular cases, the burial was actually on Chol Hamoed. Shiva is delayed in its start because of the simcha of Yantiv. So it's a little strange in ways to have Yizkor on during Yantiv. One of the main reasons given for that is to give opportunity to people to generate tzedakah, because that's part of our recitation in Yizkor and Kel Maleh. I was thinking today, in very particular, to Pesach, and even more particular to Shvi Shel Pesach, the seventh day of Pesach, which in Israel is the last day of Pesach. For us, it's the next to the last day of Pesach. But both we and in Israel, the Torah reading for the seventh day of Pesach is Pashas B'Shalach, bringing us to Az Yashir, to the song of thanksgiving of after crossing the sea. Before the Az Yashir, we actually have the text of the story of what took place in those moments as the Egyptians were pursuing us, kicking up the dust. Moshe raised his staff. Hashem brought a strong wind. Hashem divided the waters. And we went through. Now, very close to the start of the introduction to Az Yashir, the Torah makes the comment, Uvinei Yisrael halchu bayabasha b'toch hayam, v'hamayim lehem chomam miminam u'mismalam. We're going to translate only the first half of that pasuk. That the children of Israel went on the dry land in the midst of the sea. Why did the Torah have to tell us in the midst of the sea? We actually knew this already. The Torah here could have just said it wanted to, catch us up on the action, and they were making progress and crossing that what was a body of water. The Torah could have just said, at first glance, Uvinei Yisrael halchu bayabasha. The Egyptians are being drowned, but we're going on dry land. We already know where that dry land is. We're not going to make a mistake where that dry land is, because if we go back a handful of psukim, only a handful of psukim, the Torah tells us, as that the process started to split the sea, the Torah told us, still tells us, Vayavo b'nei Yisrael b'toch hayam bayabasha. The end of these two psukim are the same. The beginning is a little bit different, but the Torah in pasuk 22, I read to you first pasuk 29. So in pasuk 22, the Torah said that Bnei Yisrael came into the sea on the dry land. So we knew they were on dry land, and we knew that the dry land was what used to be the sea. So why tell us a second time? It would be amazing enough for us to hear it the first time. We're not going to forget it, you know, within a span of 6 psukim. So to answer, I'm going to share with you a vert from the Noam Elimelech. The Noam Elimelech says, you know what? You know, when we see, when we as a Jewish people, when we see an overt miracle, like the splitting of the sea and walking in between columns of the water, when we see an overt miracle, we recognize the overt miracle. And then as we think about the overt miracle, and it's a miracle within nature, then we start to become more sensitive to the fact that there are other miracles in nature on a daily basis. You don't need this great revealed miracle to start appreciating the greatness of the nature that Hashem created. So number one, you know, we're thankful for these beautiful gifts that Hashem gives us all the time, especially in Florida, if you can't be in Eretz Yisrael. But I start to think today is that, you know, in Yizkor, we have a particular focus on our parents. Most of us have other close people that we remember at this time, but there is a particular focus on parents, and rightfully so, because just for bringing us into the world, we owe a tremendous hakaras hatov to our parents, even if they did nothing else. I think in my own case, as I went over the Noam Elimelech, I started to think, I think that, you know, I think already, at least as a teenager, I think I recognize the special gift of my parents, of having my parents, and what they did for me and my siblings. And as Barbara and I, you know, became parents and started to raise our family, I had more hakaras hatov from my parents. But I think I had the most hakaras hatov from my parents when I look at my kids raising their kids, my children, their spouses. And I think sometime that maybe even parents with all the hard work, because I have to give most of the work credit to my wife, but I think that with all the hard work that parents do, they sort of, you know, like assume this is my responsibility. This is what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, not all do, but thank God most do. And maybe they don't even make such a big deal about it. But the onlooker, when they see the kind of energies and the demands on their time and their resources, can actually have maybe more of a realization of what parents do for their children than, you know, than we as the immediate children before we have our own children, you know, and grandchildren and more, all with good health and blessings from Hashem, is that it can increase our own hakaras hatov for our parents and for all others who have helped to influence our lives throughout our lives. So this is what we take time to pause now and to remember during Yizkor. I'm going to the I'm hoping that each of you have a text for the Yizkor. I did email it. If there's anybody that doesn't have a text in front of them, I can help you a little bit, but you have to, you know, like say if you unmute yourselves and let me know that you need help with a text. Anybody need help with a text? No? Okay. So please take a few moments now to say your private Yizkors, not the Kelmole. When you're finished with your private Yizkors, we're going to ask Chazan Shifra to recite the 3 communal Kelmoles for the Kedoshim of the Shoah, for the victims within the armed forces, in the establishment and ongoing defense and protection of the state of Israel, and the 3rd one for victims of terror. And then we'll say our own private Kelmole. So please go ahead with Yizkor. We'll give it another minute. So Chaz and Shifra will begin with the Kelmale for the Kedoshim, the victims of the Shoah.
מלא רחמים, שויכן במרומים, המצי מנוחנכינה על כנפי השכינה, במעלויס קדושים וטהורים, כזויר הורקייה, מזהירים, esnishimois akidoishim v'yatehoirim shehomisu v'shenaherigu v'shenishchato v'shenisrifo v'shenifbeyo v'shenachneku al kiddush Hashem al yidei hatzeroirim hagirmanim yimach shemam v'zichram b'havod shebli nederet im tzedaka ביד הסיקורס נשמויסה וגנה ידן תהיה מנוחסום Tirei v'sesekin ofov v'yoilomim ro'ir b'tzeroi rachat v'ysehem Adonai hu nachalosom v'yanucho b'sholom am yishkevu yiseyem v'ro'emar
Amen. We'll now continue with the Kelmale for those who served both in the pre-state armed forces and in the armed forces of Tzahal, an everyday necessity, unfortunately, in the protection of Medinat Yisrael and all of its residents. Kelmale.
teres uvitzeva Adonai Yisrael ושנפלו במלחמתם ומסרו נפשם על קידוש השם אורץ בעל הרחמים יסתירם בססר כנפיו ליומין מצרים החיים אס נשמעיהם אדוני הוא נחלתם בגן עדן תהיה מנוחתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבו אסם ולא יאמר Amen.
Amen. And the third of the special communal Kelmales for those who have been very sadly, victims of terrorist acts.
המצאים מנוחה מכוינה על כנפי השכינה במעלויס קדושים וטהורים כזוהי הר הרוקיע מזהירים אסני שמויס נושים וטף שנהרגו על קידוש השם על ידי מחבלים וטרוריסטים ימח שמם וזכרם לכן בנו רחמים יעשה תיראים בססר כנפיו ליומין וצלויר בצרוי לחיים אס נשמעיהם אדוני הוא נחלתם בגן עדן תהיה מנוחתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבו אסם ולא יאמר Amen.
Amen. Please take time now to recite the individual Kelmale.
Rabbi, they should notify the people on Wednesday night. About Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, yes. Okay, thank you. So this year, Yom HaShoah is going to be observed actually a day earlier on the 26th of Nisan instead of 27th, as this is a more recent development, but very respectable decision, as is done by Yom HaAtzmaut frequently, is that in order to reduce the possibility of an observance leading into Shabbos and generating Chilul Shabbos, so the days are advanced in a way not to conflict with Shabbat. So in our Ma'arivs here at Torah, we will include special Kel Maleh on Wednesday evening. And in the email that we sent out yesterday, uh, you're encouraged to register. We're going to join the Museum of Tolerance from the Simon Wiesenthal Center. We'll be able to hear testimony of a survivor uh, on Thursday. And if you'd like, there's another link that was sent for a testimony from a very articulate survivor that will be given on Wednesday as well. But you do have to register individually, and you'll follow the links. You'll get a confirmation back and follow the links. I want to give a Yashikaya to our Chazan Michael Schiffer, and not too many know, but Michael Schiffer came to us all the way from New York today. I know most of the people online are here in Century Village, and Michael joined us especially to help create this meaningful opportunity. And shkayach to you, always appreciate your participation. And let's look at the bright side of what we just experienced in terms of, thank God we have good things to be thankful in life. We've been given a lot of strength, a lot of love, a lot of energy by special people in the world, parents and other relatives, maybe some good friends we may have been thinking about as well. Let's pass along the goodness to others as well. Let's have a wonderful, wonderful Yontiv with continued good news developing very quickly for ourselves and wherever we may be living, and on the world scope as well, that we should be able to hear news of bracha and shalom.
Amen.
Have a good Shabbos and a good Yontiv.
Good Yontif.
Call too. Bye-bye.
Take care, Rabbi. Be well.
You too. Thank you.